Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for coming back to my YouTube channel, Grandmother's Love. I'm Miss Anita, and again, thank you so very much. This is all new for me, a little bit nervous, so please bear with me. Hopefully, as the days to come, my videos will be a lot more better. I don't have all the equipment and things that you have, like lighting, and I don't even have a tripod to put my phone, and I'm using my cell phone because I don't have a fancy camera, but that's okay. You gotta start from humble beginnings, and I'm okay with that. But again, God bless you all. Thank you for visiting me, and I hope that you'll come back and like, subscribe, and keep coming in and sit down, and we'll have a powwow. I think basically what I want to talk about today is a loss of a loved one. And I'm sure that many of you out there have experienced it at one time or another. I lost my father. Well, let me go further back. I mean, I've lost loved ones. I had three brothers. Two of my brothers had passed away years ago, and I don't know the exact dates and time. My one brother that was in the middle, his name was Avery, he passed away years ago. And then my brother Frank, he passed away. It's been a while. It may have been I'm not good with dates and all that. My one sister, she is. I probably should have checked with her first before I started this channel so I can have dates and time. But that's totally irrelevant at this time. Oh, let me put myself on a timer too so I can know that I'm not going over time. I'm sorry. I know this is a bit ghetto, but I apologize for I got to keep up with what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, yeah. So my dad passed away in 2018. He had been sick for a while, and my mom took care of him, but yeah, he left back in December of 2018. So that was a hit. That was a major hit. And then in 2000, I'm going to take my glasses off too. In 2019, I tried to look halfway decent for you guys. I put a little bit of, I'm not one for wearing a lot of makeup, I'm going to be honest with you, but I want to look somewhat presentable. But, so I was diagnosed with, not ovarian cancer, uterine cancer. And so the doctor felt like the best way to treat it is to get a complete hysterectomy. And of course they told me, well, you won't be able to have any more children or babies. I'm thinking at 60 some years old, if I didn't try to get that accomplished, it's not going to happen. So I'm thinking, okay, fine, that's good. That's no worries for me. So yeah, so got that done. I did opt out of the chemo and radiation treatment. That was my choice. Not knocking anybody else for going down that road. It's each individual person's decision, and I chose not to. I feel like I'm just going to trust the good Lord, and I believe that He'll see me through. And if it's my time, then it's my time, and that's just how it's going to be. So I got through that situation, and then 2020 rolled around, and that's of course when the pandemic was getting revved up. And then my mom got sick. Well, actually, she didn't necessarily got sick. She just fell a couple of times, and this one time when she fell, nobody was there to help, and my sister had called. My niece was over at my place, or me and my mom's place, and then my sister had called me and my son because we were out the store, and then my brother was heading over to our place, and then she was left. So it's almost like me and my son and my brother kind of came about the same time. So they was able to get my mom off the floor, and she had fell in the bathroom. She wasn't able to get up. Um, Sound like that old commercial. Um, but okay, so moving forward, so me and her agreed because she did not want to. We always try to talk her like, Mom, you need to get checked. You need to find out what's going on. Something isn't right. And my mom was trying all different things to try out. Like, okay, well, let's try this. Mom, let me buy this. Maybe this will help because her knees was wobbly and she wasn't able to get her balance real good. So she wanted us to get her some compression, uh, not socks, knee things. And so we did that. We tried some other things, and she had a walker thing too, but nothing was really working. It just wasn't working out. So I says, Mom, and I think I was trying to be very insistent on this, but I says, if nothing gets squared away, or if I don't see any improvement, then I'm going to go ahead and get in contact and to make an appointment for you to go see the doctor. So my mom agreed, like on such and such a date, we both agreed on such and such a date that if things have not improved, that she agreed to go to the doctor or go to the hospital. However, even though she and I agreed on that, and meanwhile, she was not getting better. And then my sister had called me that night after she came over and visited us. She says, Anita, I don't think that she's doing that well. And she had some concerns. So I proceeded to talk to my son. And excuse me, because I'm getting notifications too. Okay, so I proceeded to talk to my son. I called him up later on that evening and told him what I thought and what his aunt was feeling. And my son said, this is what we're going to do. And so we executed a plan the next day and carried it out. And I felt kind of bad because I felt like I was doing something wrong behind my mom's back when I know my mother was like, no, she was mad at us, but she did appreciate us. But I'm sorry, you guys, but looking back, honestly, and I'm going to try not to get emotional and tear up because it's a very sensitive topic for me. But, looking back, I wonder, did I do the right thing? Because sometimes I'm thinking, and maybe this is just me being emotional, I think, would I have been able to keep her here longer had I not gotten, sending her to the hospital. But, no one can ever really know. But, of course, she went to the hospital. She got tested. And, of course, the information that we got back wasn't good. Because, really, it was basically she's got X amount of days to be here with us. Although she stayed here a little bit longer than what they said. But, anyway, make a long story short, she's gone, and that was very, very painful because me and her had lived together the last few years after my father had passed. Me and her, it was just me and my mother. Of course, I keep my granddaughter a few days out of the week. But I think just feeling the pains of the loss of my mom and my dad. And then shortly after that, like in October, my mom passed away in March of 2020. And then my youngest brother, passed away in October, towards the end of October of last year. So, and then we're heading up into the holidays again. I think I can understand where other people are coming from, and maybe they were saying statistics show, I don't know if it's depression, anxiety, or whatever, people get down around the holidays, and I can understand now. You understand more and more when you go through it yourself. A lot of times we can empathize or feel for others, but sometimes you really, truly know what another person is talking about when you've gone through it. And that's a loss for any loved one. I've lost all 3 of my brothers, and it was 6 of us kids. And now it's just me. I'm the oldest and my two sisters, and we were kind of like stair steps. But um, anyway, um, and I'm still, it's still challenging because, you know, when you're grieving, and you guys can probably share your stories too of it doesn't really matter. It could be your spouse, your parents, your children. You know, if you love them and you care for them when they leave, it hurts. It's a pain that you cannot take away. You can't get rid of it. It's there, but I know it gets better in time. I mean, we all know that, but it never, like, you hurt and then it's gone. It's like I'm still struggling myself here with that. And I think what has brought me to realize is that I've been single for a long time. What has made me realize is that now I feel even more lonelier than I did probably prior to her leaving. I mean, you think about a lot of different things, but you're busy, you know. I had someone there to talk to. I can go in the room and me and her can sit down and powwow, or, you know, go run to the store or what have you and hang out together. We can talk about different stuff. And I didn't even necessarily have to be up under her. It's just the fact that I knew that she was there. She knew that I was here. And so, yeah, that was my world. And of course, my granddaughter, her great-granddaughter, who kept us both very busy, and still today, I might add. But yeah, it's kind of like a wake-up call. And maybe the being on YouTube is giving me a reason to, is an outlet for me, I guess, maybe therapeutic perhaps, to and please forgive me because I'm sure I'm going to fumble until I get this better, but I think there's no rhyme or reason. Basically, it's just reaching out to you guys, and maybe someone out there can connect and understand where I'm coming from, because maybe perhaps you've been down that road, or maybe in the mix of a situation and you see a loved one that you know is not going to be here much longer, trying to prepare for that. But I don't think you can completely prepare for it. A loss is a loss, and I don't care how much you process it in your head that they're going to be going. Yeah, the impact is still hurtful. You may be in shock for a few days because, you know, like, okay, I knew it was going to happen, but eventually everything wears down and you start really feeling the sting of it all. But God is faithful. I am very grateful and thankful that He is in my life. And I tell you, I'm grateful to have good